JP can't hear your voice.
Hello, can you hear me now? I
Yes,
think I
JP.
was talking on mute. Sorry.
SJP.
Yes, JB. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about this topic, foreign currency revaluation, which is the most important topic and very frequently asked interview question in these days. So a good overview on this foreign currency revaluation topic will give you advantage for you in the interview. If you are facing an interview, they will definitely ask you this question: foreign currency revaluation. Why do we use it for, and how can we apply it in Dynamics, and how it operates in Dynamics? So these are the questions. So anybody have any idea what is foreign currency revaluation? Anyone? Sairam?
Sometimes you buy trade things at different currencies,
Hmm.
and the exchange rate differs from at the time of purchase and at the time of payments.
Okay.
So there should be some foreign currency revaluation.
Okay. Thank you. I, what Sairam said is partially right, actually. So in case in businesses, if you have mostly foreign currency transactions in trade, maybe in purchases or sales, so it's usual that there might be chances of fluctuations in the exchange rates on daily basis. So because of these fluctuations in the exchange rates on the transactions that are open or that are settled, so this will be accounted as realized gain or loss, unrealized gain or loss. So foreign currency revaluation, I would say foreign currency revaluation is a process to uh, calculate the unrealized gains or unrealized losses in foreign trade of company. Okay, mostly foreign currency revaluation is run for this process, okay, to calculate the unrealized gains and losses. However, there is also a concept called as realized gains. So this seemed as Z because I'm sorry, I meant realized gains or realized losses. I'll give the full name. There is another concept called as unrealized gains and unrealized losses. So these are the two concepts that we have while we work with the foreign currency evaluation. Mostly while we run the foreign currency evaluation process in Dynamics, we will only get unrealized gains or losses. So this will be accounted. Whereas the realized gains and losses will be accounted in a different way or in a different situation, which I'll explain you now. Okay, so let us talk about this realized gains and realized losses firstly. Okay, let us talk about an example. I'll just take it down. Let us suppose that our company is a US company, or our accounting currency is US dollar, right? In this legal entity. So I'll say accounting currency is US dollar. Okay. Then, so I'm doing a foreign currency invoice with a foreign vendor. Let's suppose I'm buying some goods from a foreign vendor who's located somewhere in foreign. So I'm buying some goods from him in foreign currency. So vendor currency, I'll just select vendor currency is something like what's bigger than US dollar. Okay, let's take GBP as an example. So vendor is in Britain. So vendor currency is GBP. Let's example. Okay. So let me explain you in this way. So I created a vendor invoice for vendor on 1st November 2021. Okay, invoice is created on 1st November 2021 for 1000 GBP. Okay, on that day, exchange rate between GBP to US dollar is like this. Means for 100 GBP is equal to, I'm sorry, 100 GBP is equal to, let's say, mm, not 100 GBP. I would say 1 GBP is equal to, or let me go with 100 only. If I go with 100, then I should get more here, like 120 US dollar, suppose. So this is the exchange rate. 100 GBP is equal to 120 US dollar. For every 100 GBP, I'm getting 120 US dollars. I mean, I have to pay 120 US dollars. Now we here see the invoice amount. It is 1000 GBP in the foreign currency or in the transaction currency. So we are recording a invoice in foreign currency because since the vendor is a foreign vendor. So 1000 GBP is the invoice amount and I recorded this invoice on 1st November 2021. So according to this, what is my invoice amount in the accounting currency? Come on guys, see the exchange rate.
GBP.
No, GBP is my transaction currency. US dollar is my accounting currency, as you can see here.
1200 USD.
So 1000 GBP is equal to 1200 US dollar, right? Is it clear for
Yes,
everyone until here?
yes.
See, I have created invoice in GBP, foreign currency, 1000 GBP for the vendor, which means 1200 US dollars. It automatically converts, right? We have seen foreign currency transactions already in Dynamics. So it automatically converts it into US dollar. So it is like 1200 US dollar you have to pay against that invoice on that particular day. Okay. So is it clear for all of you until here? Any confusion in this?
No.
Santosh, Seshu, Sushila.
Yes, clear, bro.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let's say we are moving to 30th of November. Okay. 30 November 2021. I am going to pay against this particular invoice. So vendor only accepts GBP, Britain pounds only because he's a foreign vendor. So I'm paying 1000 GBP to the vendor. But on that particular day, the exchange rate is changed. It's not the same actually. So I would say the exchange rate is changed to 130 US dollars. For 100 GBP, there is 130 US dollars. So how much I have to pay to the vendor now in US dollar?
1200
Why 1200?
was on the date of transaction when invoice.
It is
It was
1200, yes. But I have to pay 1000 GBP to the vendor now. He won't accept dollars. He will accept only GBP, British pounds. So if I'm paying British pounds today to him, according to today's exchange rate, if I'm paying 1000 GBP means I have to pay 1300 US dollars from my currency. Then only I can meet 1000 GBP, right?
Yes.
yes, but
Yeah.
it was in the on the invoice date it was 1200 only, right? So we have to consider that.
No, we don't consider accounting currency. He's a foreign vendor. We have to pay him in foreign currency only.
Okay.
Okay, we don't consider our currency or our valuation. So according to the vendor, you have to pay 1000 GBP. You will pay 1000 GBP. So regardless of whatever is the exchange rate, you have to pay him this much amount. So today, when you have to pay this amount to the vendor, the exchange rate is 130 US dollar. So there is 1300 US dollar which you have to pay to the vendor, and let us suppose you have paid it. Okay, against 1000 GBP, you paid 1000 GBP. Foreign currency is same. Whereas it comes to accounting currency, there is a $100 difference. 1200 US dollar is the actual invoice amount, whereas when you paid it, it is 1300 US dollar. So what happened here?
100 increased.
So we paid 100 more to the vendor, right? From business. So when we pay something more, what will it be considered as in our business?
Loss.
It's a loss.
It's a loss. So it's considered as realized loss. So it's called realized loss because you can realize how much you have lost here clearly, right? When you are settling the invoice with the payment, you can clearly see how much you have lost in this transaction because of the fluctuation in exchange rate. So that's what is called as realized loss of 100 here. So you lost 100 here. Suppose in the same example, if I would say you have to pay $120 according to the invoice date, 1st November 2021, whereas you are paying it on 30th November, the exchange rate got decreased to 110 US dollars. Okay, for 100 GBP, 110 US dollars is only the exchange rate is only 110 US dollars, means dollar price has increased, right? Dollar as value has increased. So for 100 GBP, it's only 110. Earlier it used to be 120. Now you can only pay 1100 US dollars for the settlement of 1000 GBP, right? When the exchange rate got decreased in the market, I mean US dollars value is increased, which means for the 100 GBP you are only getting 110 US dollars, means its value of US dollar has increased, so that you are getting less US dollars for 100 GBP. So you are paying only 1100 US dollars for settlement of 1000 GBP. Here what happened?
Realized profit gain.
So here you have a profit. Where
Yeah.
when you have to pay 1200 US dollars, you only paid 1100 US dollars, means there is $100 profit or gain on this particular business transactions. So that is considered as realized gain. How much amount? Again, it is of 100, suppose. So this is how realized gain and realized loss will be accounted. Clear for all of you, or any confusion in this until here?
No.
Sushila, what say? Santosh?
Yeah, understood. Understood.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's clear.
Okay. Well, let's try to apply this in dynamics. I mean, let's suppose a foreign currency transaction. Let's change the exchange rate and try to apply the same kind of example. Okay, I'll just keep it here. So let me keep it here. So this is a payment transaction for, I'll say this is changed to 130 and this is 1300. So I'll say this is on 15th of November. Okay, let's fix everything clearly. For calculating this realized gains and losses, unrealized gains and losses, first thing and main important thing is that you have to create these main accounts: realized gain, realized loss, unrealized gain, unrealized loss, or at least create one account as realized gain or loss and another account as unrealized gain or loss. You can create a single account for both gains and losses if you want to. So where we create them, we'll create them in the main accounts only, but there is an important place where we have to assign them. I'll show you. Or we already assigned it. So normally it's in general ledger in the ledger setup. So we know this ledger setup where we link this chart of accounts, account structures, currencies, all of them, calendars. So there only we have the option of this main accounts related to the revaluation or currency revaluation. So here you can see main accounts related to foreign currency revaluation. Here I have exchange rate gain, realized gain account, on realized loss account, this one. And this is unrealized gain and unrealized loss. So for this also I'll create two. So we already have exchange rate gain and all. You can rename them if you want to. Let me rename it to realized gain. I'll just edit this. Exchange rate gain, realized, and give. Then there is exchange rate loss somewhere here. So I'll just change it to exchange rate loss, realized. Other than this, I'll also create another two. 422 unrealized Unrealized gain, I'll just say it as unrealized gain. It's a revenue. New. It's lakh 22. Unrealized loss. So I'll give it as a expense account since it's a loss. So I will save it. So go back, refresh it, or go back and open the form again. I'm in the ledger form. In the ledger setup. Here I can see the names are changed already. Here also I'll give the same unrealized gain and loss account. So unrealized gain, I have this account right for lakh 22, and for unrealized loss I have an account 5 lakh 22. Perfect. So this is the area where you can configure these 4 accounts. So we are given here automatically it will consider for the process of and losses. Let's see how it will work. Other than this, there is also another place where you can give them or assign them. Actually, it's in accounts for automatic transactions. So what is the navigation for accounts for automatic transactions, guys? Sairam.
JP voice cut off.
What is the navigation for accounts for automatic transactions?
General ledger.
Yeah.
General ledger.
Okay.
Setup.
Which setup? We have 3 setups in general ledger. Ledger setup, journal setup, posting setup.
Posting setup.
Yeah, it will be in posting setup, accounts for automatic
Accounts for
transactions.
automatic. Yes.
So here also you have that chance of configuring. Here we have given right exchange rate gain, realized exchange rate gain loss. So this is here. You can also give unrealized somewhere you can see it. Exchange rate gain unrealized bundle. I think you have it here. Let me go for U. I only have one U actually. Or exchange rate gain unrealized. Do I have it? Let me see. Exchange rate gain and loss. I think I only have these 2. That's okay. I mean, for only the realized gains and losses, I have it here. For unrealized gains and losses, I have to give it there itself in that menu of there. So if you, for realized gains and losses, if you either give there or here, it will consider these accounts. Okay, we have 2 options for realized gains and losses. However, for unrealized gains and losses, I think that's the only option. Then we have given all the accounts already and they are in place. Now let's try to create this example, what we have discussed. Let's post an invoice for 1st of November in GBP where it gives this exchange rate and try to make a payment transaction and see what happens. Okay, let me take you to exchange rates menu first where to configure the exchange rates. Okay, currency exchange rates I'm configuring under MRF. So let me go for GBP to US dollar. I think I already have it here. Okay, let me edit this. I'll add an exchange rate for 1st of November. So November 1st, exchange rate I'm giving as 1.2, or I'll just change the conversion factor to 100. Then it will be quite good. 100 GBP, 120 US dollar for 100 GBP. So according to our example, 120 US dollar for 100 GBP. On 15th November, it should be 130. On 30th November, it should be 110. So let's see them. So on 15th November, I'll give it as 130 US dollar for 100 GBP. 30th November, I'll reduce the change it to 110. Enough. Let's apply the example. So clear, right, for all of you? Just for the example sake, I have given this configuration, but in general business, it will alter day by day, right? It won't be the same rate every day. Chances it will alters every day. Here, just for the example sake, to make you convenient to understand, I just gave these 10 differences. Clear for all of you? Why I given this?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, bro.
Okay, perfect then. Then I'll go ahead and create a vendor invoice journal. It's a simple invoice journal I'll create for the vendor. Going to invoice journal, as you can see here in accounts payable. Go to new. Select vendor invoice journal. Go to lines. So Sairam, how to create an invoice journal from here?
Select the vendor.
First I'll select the date, 1st of November. Okay, select the vendor. Let me select this Maruti Suzuki. Okay. Invoice date.
Click on
Also,
account name so that name will be referred.
it will automatically come. Okay. Invoice number. I'll just say FINV, foreign currency invoice number 1. So vendor will be debited or credited?
Credited.
Credited. I'll give 1000. So currency, as we thought, it should be a foreign currency transaction, right? So I'm just giving it as GBP. Okay, giving it as GBP, 1000 GBP invoice. Offset account.
Any expense account.
So you can select any expense account. Something like other expenses. Let me select this one and save it. So as soon as I save it here, I can see the debit amount and credit amount is 1200. Why it is 1200 here? I gave only 1000 here, right?
That is accounting currency.
It is according to the accounting
1200
currency.
is accounting currency.
Correct. According to the accounting currency, 1000 GBP is converted into 1200 US dollar. As you can see here, I told you, right? 1000 GBP is equal to 1200 US dollar. So same is created here. Now you can apply taxes if you want, or I don't want any taxes. Anyway, taxes will be calculated only when you give both sales tax group and item sales tax group. Only if item sales tax group, if you assign, it will not calculate anyway. Then I'll validate and post it. Before posting it, I'll create one more invoice for the same date. I'll create it for the same vendor. Okay, and I'll give the invoice date as same. FINV02 I'll give suppose, and here also I'll give credit of 1000 only, and it should be GBP again. I'll use another expense account like something like miscellaneous expenses and save it. Okay, I'll also create 2 more invoices quickly for future uses. Again, we might have to come back here and create Y. So I'll just select it 1st of November again. FINV03. This time I'll give it as 1500. My series. Advertisement expenses, something else I'll give. Currency should be changed, right? Got it. GBP 1500 GBP. I'll create one more quickly. So that's again for the same vendor, another invoice for the same date. FINV4. So for future users also I'm creating invoices now at a time. I'll create this as $2000. Sorry, 2000 GBP. Select an expense account. Something like gift expenses, something. Now I'll save it. Total of it is 1000 plus 1500, 2000, 4000, 5500. So total amount is like 6600 coming to the US dollar, converting to US dollar. The remaining is same. Okay, now I can post all this. All of them are different vouchers, as you can see. Now they'll be arranged 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 different vouchers, 4 different invoices, same vendor anyway. 4 different invoices I'm posting. All are for 1st of November only. For all of them, exchange rate is 120 US dollars against 100 GBP. Okay, for 1000 it means it's 1200. For 2000 it means 2400 US dollar. So now I will post it. So clear, right, for all of you until here? Seshu, Santosh.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Yes, JP.
Saidip. Hello.
Yes, JP.
Okay, clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Though I can see they are posted. Now I can go for duplicate tab quickly. You can just leave it open. I can go for payment journal. So I'm going for accounts payable, payment journal to settle this invoice. Okay. So click on if, select vendor payment journal, go to lines. Okay. I would like to pay this invoice on one of the invoice on 15th of November. 15th of November. So I'm selecting the vendor account. The vendor is Maruti Suzuki. How do I settle a transaction from here, from this page? Settle an invoice repayment from here itself. Any idea?
Click on settle transactions.
Here, click on settle transactions. Yes.
No, line level.
Okay. Okay, now if I scroll down, I can see these 4 invoices. Let me select this invoice. Okay, invoice number 1, FI invoice 1. Okay, if I select this one, see here it's clearly showing the settlement amount is 1300 US dollars. See, I selected an invoice of 1000 only. It is showing 1300. Why?
The exchange rate differs, means
So,
from the date of posting and from the date of settling.
so on 15th of November, I have exchange rate of 130 US dollars for 100 GBP. Okay, so this invoice is for that I'm going to settle is for 1000 GBP only. But according converting into US dollar, it is 1300 US dollar that you are paying to the vendor for settlement of this 1000 GBP. So if I click on OK, so it would convert automatically here as 1300 US dollars. Since you are paying 1300 US dollars, or you can change the currency you want to. You can change it to GBP. Okay. So the total amount marked is change the journal amount. Yes. So it will automatically convert it into 1000 GBP, which means 1000 GBP, 1000 GB. Payment is also you are making in GBP only. However, behind you will have a exchange rate of 1300. I mean 130 for US dollar, right? So it will be converted into 1300 US dollars. Now I can use any ledger account or bank account to post this. I'll use bank account. Which bank? Can use some ICICI bank. Can select a method of payment if I want to, or I'll leave it. Relax. So this is how I can select a transaction and settle, mark it for settlement. 1000 GBP only. Vendor I'm paying, so vendor is debited, as you can see 1000 GBP, and bank account is being credited. And when you see the voucher, it is 1300 US dollar and 1300 US dollar. Since you are paying it on 15th November, where the exchange rate fluctuation is already done. Now you might have to pay $100 more, which should be a realized loss. So I'm posting this. So now when you check the voucher here, you can see accounts payable is debited with 1000 GBP, ICICI Bank is credited with 1000 GBP. Whereas it comes to amount in accounting currency, this one, come on. Yeah, here it is 1300 and 1300. Amount in reporting currency, it's euro actually, so it's separate again. When you can see it's 4000, 4000. I could have changed the euro rates as well, but I did not change anyway. Look into this one only for now. So it's, I mean, according to accounting currency, this is the exchange rate. Now that invoice is settled. So when you code for the invoice, which we have settled, FI invoice 1, then I can see the voucher here also. I mean, in the invoice journal, which we have posted earlier, you can see accounts payable is credited for 1000 GBP, other expenses is debited for 1000 GBP. Whereas it comes to accounting currency, it's only 1200 and 1200. Expense is recorded for $1200 and liability is recorded for $1200 during the payment. While the settlement, accounts payable is debited with 1000 GBP only, but in accounting currency it is 1300 US dollar. Whereas it comes to here also you can see the difference in euro, 1019 euros. Whereas here you can see 1004 euros, 1104. Here it is 1019, something a little different or lesser than compared to that voucher. So now what happens to that 100? How that 100 is accounted? Where is that realized loss account? So that you can actually see in the vendor transactions. So I'll take you there to all vendors. I think from here also you can see in the all related vouchers. From the payment journal, you can see all related vouchers actually. When you see related vouchers, that's okay. I'll show you here in the all vendors better. You will understand. Going to Maruti Suzuki, go to transactions here. So this one, vendor invoice, FI invoice is here, and payment transaction is somewhere. This one, right? 15th we have paid 1000. So these two are there. If you go for this and go for settlement history, you can see it's settled with $1300. However, if I would show you here, you can see this one as well here. So this is showing 0 here, but however, it's in transaction currency rate, whereas it comes to amount in accounting currency, it is here. So it's showing $100 difference, or 100 is accounted here to accounts payable. You can see this voucher if you want to select this MRF. Come on, not this, only this voucher. So this voucher is posted actually. It's showing 4 lines because one for accounting currency and one for reporting currency. So this is an automated voucher. You can see it's not in the same format of vendor vouchers, neither payment nor invoice. So when you see here, exchange rate loss account is here. You see this one first. Exchange rate loss account is debited with 100. Means losses are always debited, right? So it's debited with 100, and accounts payable account is credited with 100. Accounts payable account is credited with 100. It's because, see, when you recorded invoice, accounts payable account is credited with 1200 initially. Okay, when you made payment, accounts payable account is debited with 1300. So there is an extra balance of 1300 in the debit actually, because accounts payable account, when you invoiced it, it's credited for 1200 US dollars. When you made payment, it's debited for 1300 US dollars. So there is a extra debit balance of 100, right? So that 100 will be again credited or reversed. Clear, guys, this one?
Yes.
So reversed in the sense that will be accounted as a realized loss, since you have paid more here in the realized loss, it will be accounted. So the realized loss account will be debited, and that 100, whatever is extra debited to the accounts payable account, will get reversed. So that's what is happening here. Realized gain, realized loss account, sorry, is getting debited. Since it's a loss, it will get debited, and accounts payable account is getting credited 1100, sorry, 100. And this entry, additional entry, is for reporting currency actually. Whereas coming to reporting currency, you can see this one. In reporting currency also there is some difference, like 84.92, and that's debited for the exchange rate realized loss account, and then accounts payable account is created with $84, so in euros actually. So that's how it will be adjusted with automatically with this automatic realized gain or loss transaction. So whenever you are settling any open vendor invoices with payments, foreign currency invoices with payments where the exchange rates are different, so these kind of exchange rate losses or realized gains and losses are common. So here the situation is realized loss. So if you are paying way less comparatively what you have to pay, then it will be accounted as realized gain, which we will see as the next scenario. So clear guys for all of you until here? Yes or no?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I
Yes,
can
it
see that in the payment transaction here, which I made. Go for settlement history. I can see this invoice. Other than this, do I have anything here? Should see something else actually. Settlement, undo settlement. I can see only this two again. But usually I can see the related transaction somewhere. No. Whereas I can see it here in this voucher itself, where when I use this related vouchers option earlier in the payment voucher, here all related vouchers, click on all related vouchers, I can see both of them. So this is the original payment that you have done, which is having vendor pay voucher number. That was the automatic transaction which was adjusted accordingly. During the payment itself, it gets adjusted. Then let's do something else. Let's post another vendor invoice. No, that's clear. So let me go for another. We already have right invoice, so we have 4 invoices, right? So let me post another payment journal again quickly. So I'll select vendor payment journal again, and I'll go to lines. So this time what I'll do, I'll select the same vendor, Maruti Suzuki. I'll change the currency initially itself like GBP. I'm going to pay in GBP anyway. Now go for settle transactions. This time you can see the other 3 open invoices like FINVO 2, 3, 4. So let me select this one, invoice number 2, which is again for 1000 GBP. I'll click on OK. But however, I'll change the date of payment to 30th of November, not 29th. I'll refresh this. Now you can see there is an exchange rate difference here. 1000 GBP I'm paying, right? So I'll select again as bank account, ICICI Bank. So on 30th of November. So this time it is showing only 1100 US dollars according to the new exchange rate. According to 30th, what you have given here is 110 US dollars for 100 GBP. So according to this, so it is considering the vendor payment of only 1100 US dollars against the 1000 GBP. Okay, we have already marked that transaction for settlement. Then we can post it. So clear, guys, for you, all of you, this one.
Yes,
Okay. Then I'll
Yes,
post it. So here what happened is when we were doing invoice, it is of 1200 US dollars. So accounts payable account is credited for 1200 US dollars when it does invoice. But now when it does payment, accounts payable account is debited only for 1100 US dollars. There is $100 difference in the accounts payable account. It's credited more. Now it will get debited. And which account will get credited instead or against the accounts payable account?
realized gain.
Correct. The realized gain account will get credited because gains and revenues are always credited, right? So you can go here to all related vouchers or So you can go for all related vouchers. You can see clearly here. I will try to export it in case if it works, so that I can show you better. Takes a while. Let's see. So this is exported. Let me open this, and also I'll come on. So I'll download this one, invoice voucher as well. That's okay. Then what I'll do is I'll copy this invoice until here, and I'll paste it here. Okay. So what all you can see in the bottom, let me paint it. So this is invoice transaction. What all you see here, until here, say payment transaction here. So this is invoice transaction, this is payment transaction, and above all that you see is exchange rate gain or loss transaction. Now you can see while you have done invoice, accounts payable account is credited with 1000 GBP and debited with 1000 GBP when you made payment. It's zero only, so that you can see amount in transaction currency is zero only when revaluation. Whereas it comes to accounting currency, when you see here, so it's transaction currency, whereas it is accounting currency. Accounts payable account is credited for 1200 when you made invoice, whereas it is debited for only $1100 when you made payment. So the difference is $100, as you can see. 100 is extra credited. So that extra credit of 100 is now here reversed, as you can see this one. Accounts payable account. This one and this one and this one. Both of them are now. I'm sorry, let me pick another color. Yeah. So both of them are now balanced here. Zero finally. So since accounts payable account is getting reversed or debited here for 100, realized, I mean this one, realized gain account is getting credited. Gains and revenues are always credited, right? So you can see it's getting credited. This one. The other voucher is in the reporting currency. So reporting currency also there are slight differences, right? So here in accounts payable account is getting debited here. Here it is for 100 US dollar, right? Here it is for 84.93 euros. And here the same realized gain account is converted into 84.93 euros, or debited for, sorry, credited for 84.93 euros, since gains are always credited. So that is it, guys. So is it clear until here for all of you? Any confusion in these two examples?
No.
No. Okay. So will you be able to answer this in the interview if they ask what is realized gain and loss, when it will be accounted? Okay.
Yes.
So Sairam, what are you gonna say? What if they ask?
Actually,
Yes.
realized gain or realized loss is the difference that arises at the time of payment.
At the time of settlement, not payment.
At the time of settlement
Correct.
of foreign currencies.
Foreign currency invoices with payments. Okay. You can say it more clearly, like realized gains and realized losses are accounted during the time of settlement of foreign currency invoices with payments, in case if there is any exchange rate fluctuations between the invoice and payment. You can say, for suppose if an invoice is posted for an exchange rate on a particular date in past, and today if we are making a payment, where the exchange rate is slightly different compared to the one. So the difference of the exchange rate is in accounting currency is accounted as realized gain or loss. Okay, try to explain it in this way, or make your own framing or read a paragraph in your books as well, just to take it into mind and explain it properly to the interviewer. Okay, so it's very often if you have foreign currency transactions, you will always see this situation or have this automatic vouchers posted for this currency revaluation, realized gains and losses. So let's go back to our topic where we have left over two other things, unrealized gains and unrealized losses. So let's bring it into the picture. So any idea when unrealized gains and losses will be calculated? Anyone?
Show in the balance sheet.
So it will not show in the balance sheet. Okay. Well, the difference will be shown anyway. Okay.
Basically, the suppose we are paying at the end of the month, but today it is showing losses because the amount is higher compared to invoice date. That time we will consider unrealized loss.
So why only that particular day?
Not only that day, any day we are seen.
Yeah.
But we are not paid that time.
But at the time of payment, we can account it as loss, right?
So this is the definition. Unrealized gains and unrealized losses are calculated on open vendor invoices in foreign currency when you run the foreign currency revaluation, or open vendor invoices posted in foreign currency, or I can say recorded in foreign currency when you run the foreign currency revaluation. Foreign currency revaluation is basically a process to understand what is the unrealized gain and loss or expected gain and loss on the invoices. So let's take an example, the same example. Suppose you have posted an invoice on 1st of November for 1000 GBP, which is accounted as 1200 US dollar in your books. It's an invoice. So I'm not making a payment on the invoice right now. I might make a payment in the future. But I would look into the terms like, what if I have to pay the invoice today? So what if I have to pay the invoice today? So that day is suppose 15th of November. I'm thinking like, what if I have to pay the invoice today? So when I see that exchange rate, it shows 1300 US dollars, means I got to understand that today if I pay, I have to pay $100 more in my accounting currency, which is a loss. You don't pay it or you don't settle it now. You will just look into the fact that how much you have to pay. So that fact of evaluation or is called revaluation in foreign currency, and that situation gains or losses are recounted as unrealized gains and losses. They are called unrealized gains and losses because they are not a correct gain or loss. So because if you make payment when you clearly lose something, then it can be realized gain or loss. But since you are just making some assumed revaluation, or what if I have to pay, or if you would go for that kind of revaluation, that will be accounted in unrealized gain or unrealized loss actually. Okay, here you don't make settlements. So normally for unrealized gains and unrealized losses are calculated only on open transactions, or not only vendor actually. You can say open invoices or transactions. It can be customer also. Invoices or transactions recorded in foreign currency when you run the foreign currency revaluation. Okay. So this is unrealized. So in unrealized, you will run the foreign currency revaluation mostly at the month end. Most of the businesses prefer to run it on periodic basis, like at the end of a month or at the end of a quarter or end of an year. Okay, suppose that I have an invoice pending, or I have two invoices pending, one for $1,000, again 1000 GBP. Okay, again for 1200 US dollars. Okay, and again another one for 2000 GBP. So for 2400 US dollar, both of them are posted on 1st of November. Okay, according to me, today's exchange rate on 15th, let's suppose, is 130 US dollars. Okay, here I'll have in the first invoice, I'll have 100 US dollar loss. In the second invoice, if I pay, I'll have 200 US dollar loss because 2000 GBP is equal to 2600 US dollars. So it will be totally 300 loss I'll have. Suppose if I pay it today. So I will, if it is one invoice or two invoice, I can see it clearly or identify. But in business, there can be lot of invoices such as which would be pending and open to be paid. There would be a situation where there will be hundreds and thousands of invoices. So for all those invoices, you can calculate the unrealized gains and losses at a go by running the foreign currency revaluation process. Okay, you can run the foreign currency revaluation process in 3 modules. One in accounts payable module, accounts receivable module, then in general ledger module. Recently, I think they are introducing in cash and bank also. I'm not sure if it is yet introduced, but these are the 3 modules where we can run the foreign currency revaluation. Accounts payable, accounts receivable, and general ledger module. Okay, so it is a situation as I told you. What if we are going to pay on this particular day? How much we have to pay? So that will be understood when you run the foreign currency revaluation process. Suppose if there is any differences, that differences are automatically adjusted to unrealized gains and loss accounts. And invoice amount will be increased. Here the invoice amount is 1200, right? So if I run foreign currency revaluation process as on 15th of November, so what happens is there will be 100 US dollar loss, right? So that 100 US dollar loss will be adjusted. So accounts payable account again will get credited for another 100 and this loss account will get debited for 100. This loss is unrealized loss. Okay, so that's what happens. Let's see how it will work in the process. So I'll show you. We have two vendor invoices pending. So to be settled actually, if I would go for only open transactions, see here I have foreign currency invoices, two invoices, which is FINV 3 and 4, which we have posted earlier. For 1 and 2 we settled already so that I don't see them here. But foreign invoice 3 and 4 I have here, which is for 1500 US dollars and 2000 US dollars. Whereas it comes to accounting currency, I can see 1500 GBP and 2000 GBP here in transaction currency. Coming to accounting currency, which is US dollar, I can see 1800 US dollar and 2400 US dollar. According to the 1200 exchange rate factor, they are converted here while I posted the invoice. These two are open at. See, I can see on open only. Show open only means this is showing only open transactions. Now what I want to do is I want to run foreign currency revaluation on all the foreign currency invoices that I have made be for this vendor or any vendor I can run. Again, not only for a specific currency, I can run it for multiple currencies at a time. And it won't consider the US dollar currencies. So if the transaction currency is same as accounting currency, there is nothing to be considered, right? If it is different, then it will consider for foreign currency revaluation. So now we have two invoices pending here for the vendor. Let me try to run the foreign currency revaluation process now. Let's see what will happen. So what I'll do is I'll go for foreign currency revaluation. It will be in accounts payable module under periodic tasks. In accounts receivable also it will be under periodic tasks. In general ledger also it will be under periodic tasks. In any module it will be under periodic tasks. Remember that. Accounts payable, periodic tasks. I can see foreign currency revaluation here. Foreign currency revaluation. Let me click here on foreign currency revaluation. So it's not run yet, so it's an empty form. Now we can run foreign currency revaluation here, or you can run a simulation. Simulation means just a trial. It won't affect any accounts. You can before you run the foreign currency revaluation, you can see a trial how it would look like if you would really post foreign currency revaluation. So let's try this simulation first. Okay, this is it, just a trial as I told you. Well, it's taking a lot of time. So we can select a method, standard method, minimum method, or invoice method. Mostly they'll select standard method only. There is slight variance between this and this, but let's go with only standard method. So consider date, until which date you want to consider the transactions. I'll say until 30th. Okay, which rate that you want to consider, or can say any rate, again 30th you can say. Or what I would like to do is I like to select it for 15th. Until 15th, what are the open invoices I have? I will select the date of rate as 15 only according to the 15th November rate. So 15th November the rate is changing right from to $130. There is a $10 hike on I mean 100 GBP. So I'll select that 15 and 15. Okay, you can select the records to include a single vendor account or single currency if you want to run it only for one currency transactions. If you don't select anything, it will select in all the currencies by default, all foreign currency transactions. You can select for a specific vendor you want to run, you can select, or if you don't select anything for all the vendors, if there are pending foreign currency transactions, it will pick them. So this is just a simulation. So I'm running it on screen itself. So let's see. Simulation means just a trial. It takes a while to load the report. So we can see something here. It's for GBP. Why it's considering as US dollar again here? That's okay. Let's only see for this vendor GBP. Here you can see this currency is you see 3 transactions or 2 transactions. There's already settled transaction, right? Okay. So one transaction we have settled on 30th, right? So it is considering that transaction also, since the settlement was done lately. Actually, we have done a settlement for the invoice actually on 30th, right? So it's considering that invoice also as an open invoice because we are running the foreign currency revaluation for 15th, right? So that is why. Now we can see 3 invoices actually, 1001, 1501, and 2001. And then you can see last revalued accounting currency while they were posted. What was the amount? 1200 US dollars, 1800 US dollar, 2400 US dollar. So this is in GBP. This is in accounting currency, totally 5400 US dollars. So see the new rate according to the new exchange rate of 130. You can see new accounting currency. For 1000 it is 1300 US dollar. 1500 is 1950. For 2000 it is 2600 US dollar. So there is a increase in the amount that you have to pay, like 5850 US dollar. So that 5850 US dollar, you can see that revaluation. Revaluation means difference. How much? 100, 150 and 200. There is a total 450 loss for you, which is showing in minus here. Foreign currency revaluation of 450 loss. And you can see last revalued reporting currency. So it's all about accounting currency. And this is in reporting currency. While posted the invoice, reporting currency amounts were like this. According to the new exchange rate, reporting currency amounts were like this. And if I run the foreign currency revaluation, reporting currency amounts are like this, adjusted like this. Okay, this is up here. Actually, this is US dollar only, but there is a slight change in the reporting currency, like how much change we have. So in accounting currency, I don't see any change. It's zero only. Whereas it comes to reporting currency, there is some 3 cents difference. So that is why it's considering that invoice of another vendor. Okay, our major concentration was on this page. So this is how the foreign currency devaluation is done or considered for the invoices. The difference amount, as you can see, 150 to 200 amounts of loss is accounted here, or it will be adjusted now to the invoices. Now you have to pay 1950 and 2600, right? If you have to pay, you are not paying though, but if you have to pay, you have to pay these amounts, right? So that new amounts will be reflected on invoices. So this is just a sample or simulation. So clear, guys, this representation for all of you.
Yes.
Yes, Sushila, Saideep.
Yes, JP.
Yeah.
Okay. So now if it is clear, I'll run the original foreign currency revaluation. So this is for 15th, right? I'll leave it for 15th. I'll run the foreign currency revaluation, original foreign currency revaluation for the end of the month. Okay, see here, foreign currency revaluation, click here. Actually, I want to show you for two months, but in 2 dates actually. That's okay. I'll again show you with another example. Don't worry. So now here I'm using the same standard method. Consider date. I'm selecting 30th of November. So according to 30th of November, I only have 2 pending vendor invoices, right? Other 2 are paid. One 1500 invoice, one 2000 invoice, which are in GBP currency are pending. So I'll consider the date of rate as also 30. On 30, I have a decrease in the rate. Actually, it's 110 US dollar, right? So I should get some gain actually, unrealized gain. Let's see if I'll get it or not. Use posting profile from posting. Okay, then general posting profile only. Dimension you can select. You can select none or posting. Posting, if you select posting, means it will select the financial dimension values from the same invoices and payment. Whatever you have in the invoice and payment, so that will automatically select that financial dimensions for this automatic transaction of exchange rate gain or loss. If you select none, means no dimension will be considered. Most of them will select posting, but here I'm selecting none only. Can give some description on notes like foreign currency revaluation for the month in November. You can write something like that. Not mandatory. Again, you can include records like one vendor. If you want to run it for only one currency, you can. For one fixed rate, you can. One posting profile only, you can do it. So here I'm selecting only this criteria, clicking on OK. So it takes a while and it will automatically post those adjustments to the invoices. So there is an error. Voucher number is already used as of date. I should change the voucher numbers for foreign currency revaluation. In accounts payable, setup, accounts payable parameters. Number sequences, currency revaluation. Do I have any? Let me go for, I don't have revaluation. Exchange rate adjustment voucher. I think this should be the one. It was showing what it was showing earlier. This one, MRF 13 one. Okay. Let me change it to remove. I'll give it as FCR, foreign currency revaluation. And I'll give it to 6 digits. Continuous. I'll just give it as number 1, whatever it is. Smallest, I'll give it as 1. Largest, I'll give it as 999, only 6 nines. Save. Okay. Exchange rate. Anything else I have? So it should be the one. Let me try this one again. Okay. Refresh the form. Okay. Here. Sorry. Save it. Close it. Now here. Refresh the form. Run foreign currency evaluation. Same method for 30th. Okay. And I'll click on OK. So wait another 5 minutes. We'll finish this topic. So see, there is a revaluation run on 30th of November and I can see it. Then I can go to voucher to see what is the voucher that is posted under it. So there is a very big voucher. It's for some 3 invoices. So we have to consider it for only. Let me try to export it. So actually 3 transactions are considered, one of which is of another vendor, I think. That one we have seen rates for Sahara, that US dollar one. So that's the other one actually. There is a difference in only reporting currency here, as you can see. This one. So what I'll do is I'll remove this voucher unrealized gain. Okay. So until here I'll remove for that one. We'll discuss about this one. So sorry. This is painted in one color. This is painted in another color. Okay, these two are the transactions that I have or that we have. So 2 vendor invoices are pending, right? For that vendor. So you can see here there is a transaction. Accounts payable account is getting debited in accounting currency for 150. Okay, as you can see, accounts payable is getting debited for 150 and unrealized gain account is credited for 150. And in the bottom, when you say accounts payable account is debited for 200 and unrealized gain account is credited for 200. So this is why, because there is an invoice of 2000 US dollars. Okay, invoice is for 2400 US dollars, which is 2000 GBP actually. Okay, but according to this is according to 1st of November. Okay, according to 1st of November, that's the scenario. So we are running the foreign currency revaluation for 30th of November. Okay, according to 30th of November, the exchange rate is changed. So 2000 GBP on exchange rate is equal to 2600 US dollar, right? So there is a 200. So not 2600. I'm so sorry. It should be 2200 US dollar, because on 30th of November the exchange rate is $110 only, 110 US dollars. So 1000 GBP is 1100 US dollars, which means 2000 GBP is 2200 US dollars. So I'll just change it here as well, just for the sake of convenience. Okay. So as you can see here, so this is the situation on 1st of November and 30th of November. Okay, there is a difference amount of $200. So $200, there is a decrease, right? Which you have to pay. There is a slight decrease in the US dollar amount. So that $200 is considered as unrealized gain actually. So because you are not paying it today to consider it as a realized gain. Since you are just looking into the overview of how much if you pay, how much you will get gain. So you can see it is unrealized gain of 2,200. Sorry, 200 of unrealized gain. There is a difference. 200 US dollars. So that unrealized gain is now adjusted to the invoice, as you can see here in this particular one. So unrealized gain account is credited with 200. Accounts payable account is debited with 200. Means accounts payable account is reduced with the $200. See in this Word file actually. Here accounts payable account was earlier credited for 1200, right? Now let's assume if at all we pay, only assumption. So it's debited for 2200. So in order to balance that day's amount, this 2400 invoice is again debited for 200 US dollars like this. It will be reduced or debited. That's the scenario. I mean, I can say accounts payable account is unrealized gain account is created actually, but whereas the accounts payable account for 200 US dollars only, it will get debited. So this will be the entry for unrealized gain. Unrealized gain account is credited since it's a revenue, and accounts payable account is debited since it is being reduced. So according to today, we might have to pay less only. So that's why it get reduced automatically to $200. I mean, $200 will be reduced from this 2400 invoice. Let's see if this is actually reduced or not in the vendor payments. So I'll again go back to the another example. Suppose vendor transactions. Okay, I'm refreshing this vendor transactions. Refresh them. This is the invoice, right? 2000 invoice, 2000 GBP according to transaction currency. If I move it slightly right now, see here, balance it is showing as 2200 only. Amount in transaction currency was amount in accounting currency was 2400 when recorded, but now the payment that you have to do it is showing as only 2200 because that unrealized gain will be adjusted to this one according to today. Suppose if I select this one, go to settlement and settlement history, I can see there is a foreign currency voucher got adjusted to it for $200 exchange rate adjustment. Here you can see $200. This one, and you can also see the voucher somewhere here in the list actually. FCR vouchers here showing only open transactions, right? So here you can see FCR2 for invoice number 4, foreign currency revaluation voucher. If you click on voucher for this, you can see the same unrealized gain is, I mean, here credited for 200, accounts payable account is debited for 200. This one debited for 200. And the same again in the reporting currency, you can see unrealized gain account is, where is this here? Credited for 169.85 and debited for 169.85. The same you can see here, the same, yeah. That's all guys. So again, when it comes to this one, so this is for one invoice, right? So this is for the other invoice of $1,500. So that's here. If I go back here, I can see that invoice number 3, which is for $1,500 here, posted for $1,500. I'm sorry, this one, invoice number $1,500, out of which in accounting currency it is for, where is this one? This is the only invoice. So this is not invoice, this is payment. This should be the one, FINV03. Okay, 1500, and you can see balance in transaction currency is also 1500 GBP. Coming to amount in accounting currency, it's 1800. However, yeah, 1800 US dollars, but you are liable to pay only 1650 US dollars because that 150 US dollars is already adjusted as a exchange rate gain. So that's what happened. If you select this one, go to settlement and go to settlement history, You can see that foreign currency voucher number 1 here. $150 is adjusted. $150 is recorded as a foreign currency gain where it is credited, and your liability account is decreased, or accounts payable account is reduced with $150. Now you are liable to pay only $1650 according to today. But tomorrow, while you are actually paying, there can be again difference. So again, that will be accounted into realized gain or loss. That we will see in tomorrow's class how it will be accounted. Okay. Clear, guys, until here for all of you? Any confusion in these vouchers? Sairam, what say?
No, JP. Will they be automatically reversed
Well,
tomorrow?
tomorrow we'll see what happens.
Okay.
We'll again rerun the foreign currency devaluation on the same invoices tomorrow, or if you give me some time, I can do it now itself.
I have no problem.
Give me 2 more minutes, then I'll just show you. See, I'll create one more exchange rate for December 2nd, let's assume. Okay, December 2nd, there is an exchange rate fluctuation again. So from $110, it is going to $115 this time. Okay, there is again an increase. Okay, earlier we have run the foreign currency devaluation for 110 already, but this time on 2nd of December, it's for $115. The exchange rate is slightly increased. Now what I'll do is I'll run the foreign currency devaluation once again on the 2nd of December. So those two invoices are still pending, not paid yet. Okay, it's still on open, still open transactions. So if I go to foreign currency devaluation, if I select the same standard method, I'll consider the date as 2nd of December, rate also 2nd of December. Okay. Then same criteria I'm using. I can click on OK here. Takes a while. Now I can see this one for 2nd of December 2021, consider date and date of rate. So let's see the transactions here. Let me go for voucher. It's a very big voucher, I can see. Only 2 vouchers, 6 and 7. I'll try to export it out and I'll show you what it be like. So from here to here, it's 1. From here to here, it's 1. Separate. I would take another color for this, maybe. So this is for one invoice. This is for another invoice. Okay. When we see earlier, there was a, let's compare to this one, or I'll just copy these lines there. So just for the sake of explanation, take here and I'll copy it here in this place. Just paint it in. Okay, I'll paint it in a different color for you. Let me consider this one. Okay. So this was the old voucher when I run the foreign currency devaluation on 30th of November. So this is when I run the foreign currency devaluation on 2nd of December, where that exchange rate slightly increased. So now you can see there are 4 lines. Why 4 lines? Because see, whatever the transaction that was posted earlier will get completely reversed. So that reversal you can see here. So for this accounts payable 200 debited earlier, you can see accounts payable 200 credited here. This one. So for this one, 9 point this one. So you can see it's what debited right earlier. So now you can see this one. Unrealized gain credited for 200 right earlier. So now you can see this one getting reversed here. Unrealized gain again credited for 169 right. So you see that one getting reversed here. See exactly these 4 lines which were generated earlier during 30th of November are getting completely reversed when you run the foreign currency devaluation process once again. See, you can see accounts payable is also getting reversed, as well as unrealized gains or losses are also getting reversed. What all that are accounted on this date. What happened again is you will see new transactions according to the new exchange rate. So according to the new exchange rate of 115, so 115, right? This one. Where is this? Yeah, it's on 2nd of December, right? So I'll just give you another one here. 2nd December 2000 GBP here is equal to how much it was? 115, right? So 115 into 2000.
2300.
2300. So 2300 US dollar. There is 100 difference, right? Unrealized gain is earlier it used to be 100. Now the unrealized gain earlier it used to be 200. Now the unrealized gain is 100 US dollar only. Okay. So what it does here is it reversed the entire previous transaction completely and it posted the new transaction. You can say accounts payable account is now debited for 100 and unrealized gain account is now credited for 100. Okay, this one and this one. And this is in reporting currency again, same credited, and in reporting currency accounts payable account is debited. So same like earlier, a new transaction is posted according to the new exchange rates. However, the previous posted transaction is getting completely reversed. So in interview, they will also ask this question. What if I run the foreign currency revaluation again for another rate in future? So what happens? It will reverse the previous posted foreign currency revaluation and it will adjust or it will post the new transactions according to the new exchange rate. Clear, guys, for all of you? Any confusion in this? Sairam?
No, JP.
So now you got the doubt again. What if we run for the third time? What it could be if I run it for the third time? Sairam, any idea?
థర్డ్ టైం ఇప్పుడు ఫ్రెష్గా పోస్ట్ చేసిన ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ రివర్స్ అవుతుంది
Okay.
అండ్ అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఇంకొక ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ పోస్ట్ అవుతుంది బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ది దట్ డేస్ కరెన్సీ రేట్.
So I'm taking 5th of December again, $117 this time. Okay. So I'll run this once again for a minute. So foreign currency valuation, 5th of December, again 5th of December, click on OK. So now it is here, 5th of December one, go to voucher. So you can see again the same 8 entries. You can export the same. You'll just see the same actually. I mean, as Sairam said, and the previous one will get reversed and the latest one will get updated. So as you can see, until from here it's one, and here it's another one. So as you can see here, that 101 it's getting reversed here. This one, what do we say? These two, and these two actually. These two are getting reversed. This one as well. So in the previous one, where you can see here, accounts payable is debited with 100, unrealized gain is credited with 100. So when you go to this one, accounts payable is credited with 100 and unrealized gain is debited with 100, means the previous one is again getting reversed and new voucher according to the new exchange rate is getting adjusted to the invoice. Suppose if I go to the vendor transactions now and refresh this list of transactions, go to that invoice number 4. Where is that invoice number 4? It's somewhere there. I can see it. Original invoice number 4 is here. According to the vendor invoice voucher, I can see it. It's here. Vendor invoice number 9 voucher. So then I can see settlement and settlement history. So what you can see here, you can see 5 things. First is 200 settlement, then that 200 was reversed. Then according to that new exchange rate, 100 was settled. 100 is also reversed. Then it's new exchange rate. So it's accounted as 60 now currently. Now this is off. Adjustments are done on the invoice. Now if you go to that invoice, this one, right? If you see the payment, how much you have to pay. Earlier, you normally you have to pay 2,400 according to the invoice posted date. But since according to the latest foreign currency revaluation, you have to pay 2,340, or you might have to pay 2,340, $60 gain only reduction. Earlier it showed like 2,000 only, right? Or 2,200 only. But again, that 140 is being adjusted backwards because of fluctuations again. So that's how. Clear, guys, for all of you.
Yep.
So it's only half of it we have discussed today. The remaining half we will discuss tomorrow. I mean, how to run it on the customer side. But I want you guys to try one example. So try the same, the realized gains and loss example. Create some customer foreign currency invoice and settle it. Foreign currency invoice for customer means may it be a sales order invoice or a free text invoice. Create it, then make a customer payment. On customer side, it is reverse actually. Reverse means if you are receiving less, then you are getting loss. If you are receiving more, then you are getting profit, right? So try it in foreign currency, create a foreign currency invoice and make a settlement on the customer side or an accounts receivable with the different exchange rates and see how it is accounted. Let me know. Tomorrow we'll try this concept on foreign currency evaluation on the accounts receivable side. It's pretty much the same. Try to understand the logic, that's all. And then the general ledger also we'll try it tomorrow. If you have any doubts, you can stay back and ask. If not, you can drop off, guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's class. Oh, very